Okay, so here's some examples of previous classes. Um, this was quite a nice website on the Washington Capitals, which won last night finally. And of course, on the website, you'll see you have different information. But if I come down here, you'll notice, there's an error in this RSS feed. Okay, let's not talk about this one then. Let's find another one. Here, this one has an RSS feed. I think the internet's slow today. Is the internet slow today? Or is it just me? Okay. So again, let's look at this website for a moment. This student made this website, The Art of Manliness, whatever that means. Living traditional manhood in a modern world. So he's made a nice website, but one of the things you'll see right here is you'll see a feed right here, and notice it's dated May 2nd. It's the latest information on this website, and you see there's more feeds right here. So it's a great way of putting data on your website that is quick and easy. Let's see, does this one have a feed? This is quite a nice website. This one, and do I have a feed on here anywhere? Let's see a feed. I don't know. You get the idea what a feed is, though, right? It's a way of sharing data. Let me see if I find any more. Here's my hockey feed. Maybe there's one here on this one. Let's look at this one real quick. Slow. Let's see if there's a feed on here. Oh, it doesn't look like there's a feed on this one either. But whatever, you get the idea. There's a way. So even if you're looking at, let's say we're looking at, Yahoo, just the plain Yahoo. Everything that's in here is basically a feed, right? You'll notice it's data that's coming from somewhere else. So this is coming from Business Insider. Yes? Yeah, it's a type of feed. Right here. Yeah, we could put the weather on your website today too. How about we do a weather and a RSS feed? Okay, so we'll put the weather and so again though, see this one says Washington Post. So this is put into a format, and then Yahoo is repackaging it, putting it on their site. So how can we do that? Of course, there's some info on Canvas. So if we go to Canvas, the easiest way that I have found is to convert the RSS feed into a JavaScript file, and then take that JavaScript file and put it in your code. So it must just be me that I'm slow today. Everything's slow, or is it just me? Everything's slow. Wow. Amazon. Huh?
Maybe it's the internet, because before Richard's Almanac took forever to load on my computer.
I think it's probably the internet in general is slow everywhere I go. But in this case, the RSS has been around for years and years and years. It's a way of sharing data. If I can get this to work. again, if you look at the here's what RSS rich site summary, or often called really simple syndication, is a type of web feed which allows users to access updates to online content in a standardized computer readable format. These feeds can, for example, allow a user to keep track of many different websites in a single news aggregator. The news aggregator will automatically check the RSS feed for new content. Now, I'm not using a news aggregator. That would be something called, there's one that was called Atom for a while, and then Firefox has a built-in aggregator. Basically, an aggregator is a way of having information streamed direct, or, updated automatically on in your browser or something like that. I don't do that. I tend to just use the XML file and put it onto my website. Again, it's a standard XML file, and it's compatible with most machines. There's many different machine programs. And so you can read about RSS. Here's what it looks like. You can see a simple XML feed. Starts with XML, and then it goes into RSS, and then there's some basic descriptions, and then you can make your own up as well in there. But these are the most common ones: date, time, data, maybe a link to some data, and so on. So this is a typical RSS feed. You can make your own feed. In fact, WordPress generates feed automatically for you. So your website, if you make a WordPress site, it's actually in the actual RSS format, which allows you to share your WordPress site with other people. It's kind of the nature of WordPress as a blog in general, and that, of course, you want to be able to share your data with other people. So here's some common ones. Atom, again, was a program that would be used to read an RSS feed. What I tend to do is, first thing I want to do is find a feed. The easiest place to find a feed I found is on Yahoo. So if you go to Yahoo and go to type a topic in, let's say we're looking up hockey, right? Hey, it's sports time of the year for hockey. So we can type in hockey RSS feeds right here. Hockey RSS feeds. Why does it keep giving me baseball? I want hockey RSS feeds. So again, you got sports.yahoo.com NHL RSS right here, the first link. And you go there and you're going to look for a feed. The feed is usually done, you could tell it's a RSS feed by this little logo right here. You can see this little kind of logo right here. If you never saw the documentary on the guy who made that logo, there's a great documentary I have of the designer. He's a famous web designer, or not web designer, but icon designer, who made this RSS. You would think this is really simple. No, it's a special logo that he made. So you can find your favorite team. Let's say my favorite team is the Pittsburgh Penguins, right? My mother lives in Pittsburgh. Got to make her happy. They lost last night to Washington. Oh, actually, they tied it, but then I think they lost. I don't know. My mother called me. There was 1 minute left in the game, and the Pittsburgh tied the game with 1 minute left, and my mother calls me. They just tied that game. She's a little crazy sports freak. So she's like 74 years old.
Lost Crosby, though.
Yeah, he got out. She thinks he got a concussion and not gonna let him come back.
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay, let's not talk that. Let's say Sharks are my favorite team. How about that? Okay, right here. So if I click on here, it's going to show me the feed. Oh, there's not much data in this feed, is there? Okay, how about we go, let's go.
Detroit.
Let's go to Pittsburgh. They're going to have more info. There we go. So this is a typical feed. What is in a typical feed? Of course, articles that are written. You can see there's 1, 2, 3 different ones that are written right there. Even 4 probably in the past. Yeah, look, there's Crosby. doubtful for playoffs. He's out. But you can see these are people that wrote these articles, and they have put them into this feed. Okay, this hockey feed. You'll notice the address at the top. Do you see it? It has a .xml extension. Do you see that at the top there? So what if you want to put this on your website? I want to have the most latest hockey information about the Pittsburgh Penguins on my website. What I need to do is I need to take that link up there, repackage it. What I found, that this is the easiest way. There might be other ways of doing it, but what I've done is take the link at the top of there and repackage it in JavaScript, and then take that JavaScript and put it on your website. There's a tool to do that. So if I copy this link right here, this is the feed. Right there is the feed link. If I copy that, and then I go, I put the tool on there. This is the tool right here. It's called rssbloople.net. This is a tool that I use, and it will convert the RSS feed to JavaScript. So if I click on that, you go and you put your feed in there. Remember the feed I copied? There's my feed right there. Here are some ways you can hide descriptions of the feed if you want. You can show up to and don't have a length. You can limit the amount of feeds because the feed is really long, right? So let's say I only want to have 10, or maybe let's say 6. I want to show the latest 6. I can put a 6 in here, and it'll only show the first 6 on my web page. So there's a way to limit. So there's a way that you can adjust it, how many words and so on. You can leave that at default. Again, I copied and pasted my feed here. And then you can style using CSS, and they tell you how to do that. You know, because there's p tags, image tags, and so on, so you can actually CSS this. So you submit and get code right here. And here's the JavaScript right here. So there's some JavaScript right here. So I can copy that JavaScript right there. Then I can go to wherever I'm just going to use, of course, Dreamweaver or some other program. And I'll make just a basic page. No Bootstrap. Just a basic page. Make myself a div tag to put it in, because you want to have it in a box somewhere on your website, right? So I'm going to put it into a div tag, and I might have that div tag have a scroll bar so that you can scroll through it. So let's just say, you know, an area of your website. Of course, we can make a div tag. Div class my feed. Let's just give it something like that. And then let's code my feed up here. Let me. Let's give it some basic CSS. Nope, that didn't work. Yeah, why is my feed? So let's give it some height, width, and all that stuff. Let's make it 400 pixels wide by 600 pixels high. Let's add some color to it. Nice gray background. Ooh, beautiful gray background. And you can add some font if you want. You can change the font to whatever you want, and so on. So you can actually add some CSS to let's say a box. So this is my feed right here. So I added some basic CSS, so you can format and style it ahead of time. And then I'm going to put my JavaScript in my box that I just made. So I just made a box. So all you need to do is just copy and paste that JavaScript. This is the JavaScript that I got from that website. And if I test my page now, let me save it. I can test it, and it didn't show up. Okay, so that's not a good sign. What did I do wrong? Oh, I forgot to put the HT. For some reason, they don't put the HTTP in front of the source here. I don't know why they don't do that. I forgot about that. So, for some reason, the code they give you doesn't have the HTTP at the beginning of the right here, the source. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why they do that, but in your code, you actually have to add. You have to add the HTTP at the beginning of this right here, HTTP colon, and once you do that, it'll show up now. I don't know why. Sometimes they do put it in there. Last time I did this, they actually did, but years ago, they wouldn't put this in there for some reason. But once I put it in there, oh, this bold font is pretty ugly. So let me, again, you have to put the HTTP colon in there, and now if I test it, it'll show up. I just added some CSS to make this bold text. It's pretty freaking ugly, I know it. In addition, you'll see it expands it bigger than the window. So if you want to limit the feed to the box, you can limit that by using a fixed size box, and you can give it a scroll bar by saying it's scroll true. Is it true? Overflow, that's right, yeah. So to do that, to get it to be fixed box, you can, so right now you notice it's going over. Did you see that? It's going outside my box here. See the feed is here. I have a fixed box that ends here, right? And I want the feed to stay inside there. In order to get the feed to stay in that box, we could limit the feed to the box by using CSS. To do that, I could go to my box and I could tell it to be overflow. Where's overflow? Scroll? What's X? X is which way? Scroll? Did I say scroll left and right? I don't know. So here we go. Now it's limited to the box. Oh, no, it made the box bigger. How do I make the box fixed? It made the box bigger.
Go back to your
I know there's a way of doing it. Fixed, right?
What happens if you make the height important
Where?
on the my feed?
Where?
My feed div, the height, if you did exclamation point important.
Where? I'm sorry. Here?
No, in your CSS,
Mm-hmm.
make the height exclamation point important.
Important? After the colon?
Wait, I don't use it very often.
Yeah.
Because inside of the,
Colon?
yeah,
Like that?
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it worked. Oh, it fixed it. Let me make it smaller. Yeah. That worked. Very good. So again, we fixed this by putting important here, which I don't use very often, but it's kind of demanding that it does what you want it to do. if that's a word, demanding. I guess that's a word, demanding. Miranda, you were saying you don't know where a feed is located?
Yeah, well, I can't get the XML file. I tried to get something that just had /feed, but it's not showing up anything.
Did you use the tool that I told you about?
Yeah, like how
Did
to
you
turn it, but
did you
not-
find the appropriate RSS feed?
But yeah, but how to get to the XML file on the internet?
Like I said, the easiest way that I have found the feed is at Yahoo. And if you go to Yahoo and you type in what kind of feed you want, let's say you're an art, maybe you're doing an art website, you can put in art RSS feeds right there. See, art RSS feeds. There's a feed for every damn topic you can think of. I'm sure of it. Okay. There's a feed for every topic probably. And you go over here, and this one, it might not work. This look at the extension. If it has .html at the end, this is probably a list of a bunch of art feeds. Let's see. Yeah, this is. Oh, here we go. So you can see here. This XML file probably is one. So let's say you wanted to feed on oil painting or drawing with colored pencils. How about that? I don't know. This probably doesn't work either. This .asp up here. Usually this kind of feed doesn't work for me. I don't know. We'll try it.
I found an XML.
Usually it's the .xml extension is the one that works for me. When I find things like this, they tend not to work, at least the way that I try it, by using the converting it into JavaScript, like here. And then
I found an XML file and it still doesn't work.
oh, this one worked. Yeah, see, this one worked. Are you in the tool? If you put a RSS feed up here and then hit get the code, you should be able to see the feed inside this window. No? How about that?
I can see the live example when I put it in the actual page.
Okay, here, just do it like this. Go to Yahoo. Okay. Go and type in.
Yeah, I did, and I can see it in the blue folder, but I can't see it in the actual file I made.
Okay. Do you see it in the box? Hold on. Too many damn windows open. Do you see it in this box?
Yes.
You see it in this box here?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the feed up here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I copy that. And I go over to my code. I just did something in Dreamweaver. And I put it inside a div tag. And remember, it doesn't put the HTTP in there. You have to add that.
Oh,
Right here, you have to add HTTP : at the beginning of before the // and if you do that, it should then. Ooh, why do I have this horrible font? I need to get rid of that. I can't take this font anymore. Oh, that looks much better, especially for art.
Yeah, I forgot colons.
Yeah. So, and then again, if you preview and put the scroll on there, and people can scroll. So it's a great way to put the latest data. And then you can change the, you can change the link color if you want, right? So you're not stuck with the ugly blue underlined link, right? You could just go into your code there, and again, it's in a div tag, right? In that div tag, I could give it, I could duplicate this and give myself a little A at the end here. Like this, and then we can then go and I don't need that, we don't need that. We just need to change the color of the font. Give ourselves a nice, what do we want? Green? There we go, green. This is an art feed, right?
Ugly green.
Ugly green, this is like the green, the Shrek green.
darker.
Can we call it Shrek green?
Make it a little darker.
There we go. Oh, Shrek green. We'll call it Shrek green. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. And in the background, you could give yourself.
Decoration done.
What's
I
that?
don't like the underline on it.
Okay, you don't want the decoration. We can hit that, and we don't get the underline. We can do all caps. Where's the cap thing at? Small caps. There we go. Look at that. Small caps. There you go. Isn't it all caps? I think you do all caps.
No, it's
What's all caps? I know there's one for all caps.
I know it. It's text transform uppercase.
Let's give it a nice gradient background. There we go.
Make sure it's text transform uppercase.
And let's see. Let's look at this one. Look at that. You got your nice little.
Yeah, text transform uppercase.
Yeah. You got your nice kind of gradient right there. Gradient background with a green title. Oh, is that beautiful or what? Okay, let's do weather. So RSS feed's a great way. You can use CSS to format it. And after somebody updates that, it'll update on your site. You can also do it where they click on the link and it opens in a new window. I'm going to go sketch in Tuscany. That sounds like fun, sketching in
What if
Tuscany.
you want it to open in your window?
I'm sure,
Why would you want that?
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a way. I don't know. Because the links are coming from them. So I'm not sure. I'm sure you could say open. Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. But
I guess you can just,
yeah.
it depends on what the content.
I would say target self on the link, but the link, of course, the link isn't here. It's coming from them, right? The link is coming from them. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how to change it. Maybe you could change it in the blip thing.
Well, doesn't it on Yahoo? Doesn't it open in there? Does it actually send you
You might be able to put target self right here. I don't know. That's a good question. But by default, it probably opens in a new window. So let's put the weather in there. So weather's very similar to doing something like this in that most of the weather programs have some kind of widget that has some JavaScript, just like this one. This is JavaScript that you can copy and paste into your site. So if you want to have the weather on your site, we can go and find the weather. Let's see if we can find the weather. Now, for the past couple years, I used to be able to use weather.com, but they've changed the way that they do their thing. I don't know if we could still use weather.com anymore. But there was another one I was using. So let me try weather again. Weather.com, and then on weather.com you can go all the way to the bottom down here, and there used to be a way to get widgets. They would have widgets down here, and I don't think I see that anymore. They used to have widgets. How about we search? What are we looking for? Weather, code, widget. Weather, widget code, HTML. Yeah, AccuWeather actually has a widget. Yeah. I don't know, for some reason weather.com used to have all kinds of these wonderful widgets that you could use and put it on your website. But I don't know, past couple years. But this AccuWeather, I've used this one before. Again, how it works is they get, you can put in a location. Do you want it to look like this on your site with just a little box on your website like this? Or do you want it to be something like this with a forecast? Or do you want it to be like this with a whole bunch of stuff on it? And so you could choose different ways. Let's do the simple one. So, again, they have an auto detect. It will show the weather of the person who's there. So let's say that somebody in Pittsburgh goes to view my website. It would show them the Pittsburgh weather, right? That's probably much better than, you know, them showing the weather from where you're at.
Well, unless it's like a vacation spot.
Unless it's a vacation spot. Let's say they're going to Florida and we love Orlando because we want to go to Disney World, right?
Maybe they want to find out if it's a good day to go out.
Yeah. So you could do a fixed location, right? Orlando. Who loves Orlando? Orlando. You never been to Orlando?
Never been to Florida.
Never been to Florida?
Never been to the South, except for Virginia.
It's not really the South, is it?
It
is. It is. Allow user to change locations if you want. Again, you got English.
Not
You
in
got
the US?
what's that?
Can you do something not in the United States?
I don't know about this AccuWeather one. I don't know. Let's put in Bogota. Boga. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
looks like I can put in Bogota.
It looks like Colorado, but it's not.
It's Colombia.
I know.
It's going to be raining, I bet. So we can do Fahrenheit or Celsius. Of course, the
For
Colombians only know Celsius. You can tell what size you want. You want a big one, extra big. Ooh, look, it'll do 100%. You can put it in your own div. Do you see that? Or just do large. I'm going to do large and
Do extra large because then you can make it responsive.
do extra large and you can make it responsive. And then, of course, you got to agree to their terms and agreement. And then it'll give you a little look. This is what it'll look like down here. See that? Again, here's fixed. Here's a small one. So you can have that on your website, kind of small like that in the corner. That's all people need to know, you know. You don't need a big weather thing, right? And then you grab the code, just like we did. It has a bunch of junk in there. There's a couple div tags. Here's a JavaScript here. It looks right there. Here, I'm going to grab everything and then we can deconstruct it. So I'm going to copy the code. I'm going to go over to my page. Let's make another div. Let's make another div. Weather. Maybe call it a weather. And then let's close our div. Let's give it some CSS first. Weather. And then let's, it already has a fixed size, didn't it? What was it? 167, I think it was, wasn't it? I don't know. We're just going to make some size. Let's give it a background color. Beautiful gradient. We'll do blue for weather. Ooh! Red and yellow. Woo! I was going to do white. There we go. So a nice gradient background. What else do we want to do to it? Oh, we want it to float. Let's get it to go on the right side. So we'll float right. So it's on the other side. And then let's paste our feed in there. And I don't know what the default is. It says loading widget. I'm not really sure. Why is it all the way down there? Let's take this one and float it left so they don't conflict. Let's float this one left. There we go. There we go. So float this one left, float this one right, and then let's save. And then let's see what we got. I just did whatever the default is. I didn't change their code at all. And see, it doesn't work. I think I gotta change it. Where's What do they have here? They have an A? Why do they have an A?
Because there's a link.
Whatever, we'll get rid of that. Do I need this link in there?
Oh, no, so it's
I don't know, let's comment it out. It just says loading widget. I guess it doesn't like that I tried to. Let me uncomment this. How do I uncomment? Let me try again. Doesn't seem to be showing up. Oh, I think it has to be on a server and not on your hard drive. You would have to put this on a server. It needs to be on a web server to get this to work. At least that's what I'm thinking. So if I go and I put this on a server somewhere and then access it, it would actually work. This would work. So, I don't know. Let's quickly put it on a server. That's going to be a mess. Let me cancel this for a moment. Close this. Okay, let me put it on a server. Feed. Okay, so let's see if it, I think it needs to be on a server for it to work. What's that?
What's the MTP address for what that website, whatever website you put in?
Oh, I just put it on the digital media server. I gave you server space for class, didn't I?
Yeah, but that's not working.
What? I don't know. I'm going to test mine right now. So, what did I call it? RSS. What did I call it?
feed,
Was it all one word?
feed it.
Now I can't remember what I called it. RSS underscore feed.html. RSS underscore feed .html, and see, now it shows up. Okay, so it kind of needs to be on a server for it to do its thing. I figured.
Can you go back and show me how we got the, like, that part? I do weather.
You mean the weather thing?
Yeah.
The weather was AccuWeather, I think it was.
Yeah, I do weather, yeah.
I think it was AccuWeather. I don't know. Let me see. Where is it? Google. I went to Google and I typed in
I do weather.
weather. Oops. Ah, jeez. Weather code
Weather mode.
HTML, something like that. Something like that. AccuWeather, here it is. This one. And then I chose which option you want. They have a variety of different options. So I just chose the first one, but you could choose this one. Let's try this one. This one has dynamic background, responsive layout, fits any size, optional interest, forecast, golf, running. I don't know. You can get auto detection, Fahrenheit. What do we want? What interest do we want? Bonus interest. Where we want to go fishing. Fishing is a bonus. Oh, and I put in Bogota. It's gonna rain. We don't want Bogota anymore. Where are we gonna go? We want to go fishing in Tahoe. Tahoe. Tahoe Vista? Is it Lake Tahoe? Lake Tahoe. Ooh, it's always sunny and nice in Lake Tahoe, isn't it? Uh-oh, flood advisory though. And look, a responsive layout. Look at that. And we got good fishing tomorrow, but bad fishing Thursday. Good fishing today. Oh, and they got all this other stuff too. Look, they got all this stuff down here. Snow squalls. No rain. And I can agree to it and get the code and then copy this code. And then I just put it in a div tag. I can make another one. Let's make another div tag. We'll call it weather 2. And I put it in there. And it's trying to load something here. And we could save that. And then we can upload that to the server again.
Do you have to add anything like HTTP or anything?
Not in here, just in the RSS feed. I found that I had to do that. And so, is this my page? I think so. Woo! Okay. It's awful big and takes over my whole website, but other than that, it comes with a lot of data. Okay, I don't know. There's a responsive one. It says you.
Flood advisory so big.
How do you get that HTML file?
I just made an HTML file in Dreamweaver. So I don't know. I think the simple one, the first one I did, is much better. This looks way too much. Takes up way too much space on my website. It's got way too much crap. I think you probably could customize it maybe. Where's the customizing here? What do we got here? Is there a way we could just customize? Is there a video feed? Oh, look. Uh-oh, this guy needs...
Well, big warm-up is coming to the west coast of the United States. In fact, some of that warmth begins today. I want to take you out to the satellite picture, and you can see here. And it's going up into southern parts of Alaska. What's going on? Big area, high pressure. And that is going to be building.
Wow, I haven't
east
seen
over the
somebody
next
draw
24
on
hours
a
or
screen
so.
like
So
that.
still a little bit of coolness to contend with, at least in the northwest today. But as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, that high pressure system builds east. It's going to push the jet stream on northbound, and more importantly, we're going to cut or weaken the onshore flow from the Pacific. So that's why even Los Angeles and San Francisco will warm up significantly over the next couple of days. Widespread warmth first in western areas, and then that warmth will be spreading east
To
by the end
Boise.
of the week across the Intermountain West and the desert Southwest. Look at these high temperatures, 61 degrees in Seattle
Wow,
today.
I don't
Again,
think Seattle's
we're
seen
gonna be in the
61 all
southern
year
coast
yet.
wind.
Wow. If we want to take this video and put it on our website, let's figure that out. Share. There it is. Share. No. Damn.
Brisk and chilly winds are blowing across the Ohio Valley and the eastern states. I'm AccuWeather.com's Evan Myers.
They got apps. Still no. Okay, but did you see how to put the weather on your website? Did you see how to put your RSS feed on your website? I think the easiest way is to use that JavaScript that I did. I don't know. There's probably other ways of doing it. I found that about, I don't know, almost 8 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. Maybe since, 2010 is when I first started putting that RSS feed that way. And what is it, 2007? So about 7 years I've been doing that, using that tool, that blip, bloop, bloop, whatever it's called, bloop thing. And then you don't see it unless you preview it, and I don't like this middle one, so this one took over. I'm going to delete it.
So you want to put it in the server to see it?
Yes.
It's just loading widgets.
I'm going to get rid of that one. I like the first one with the nice simple,
You did the first one, right? Small.
the small little box, right?
Yeah.
I think that's probably much better, right? Small little box. This is way too big. What did I call it? RSS feed .html. There it is. Oh, it has a little arrow. Oh, you get widget. Oh. But nice and simple. Oof, I just love the colors of my RSS feed over here.
Looks like Christmas.
Yes. Okay, so you know, those are kind of the code things I wanted to show today.
So what you just do was put the HTML file that you made onto the server, and that made it work
Yes.
by accessing it through the server.
What's that?
By accessing it through the server, through the Westbound website.
I don't know. I just put it on the digital media server. But I gave you server space. You could just put it on your Raskoff media space, and then
Stuff on the space on Dreamweaver. I don't know how to do it on FileZilla.
well, you can use FileZilla. That's fine. I was just using Dreamweaver. Has a files window on how to do it.
Save the file and upload it.
Yeah, you've never used the Dreamweaver files window. Well, you got to define a site. You have to go site, new site, and then you have to give it a name, and then tell it what folder on your computer that you're building your website in. Then there's a server option right here, and you add a server to your option here. And I did it to the digital media server, and then I gave you Raskoff Media space, and I gave you a username and password.